Hello and welcome to this week's Hebrew. If you have a little facility with Hebrew, see what you can do with this. Pause the tape and try it. And here's my translation. And God created the sea creatures, the great ones. Okay, and every nefesh kaya, every living being in the sea, I assume it's talking about. Now, let me do a little commentary while we're going through this. This is the second time in Genesis 1 that the verb bara is used. It was used in Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It'll be used one more time in Genesis 1:27, which is where God creates humanity. Now, some have taken bara to mean creation out of nothing, but probably that's anachronistic. Again, I think probably most Old Testament scholars would say that's an anachronistic way of looking at it. John Walton argues, I find it persuasive, that bara has a sense of a special creation of order out of chaos. That asa is more in that sense, there is a distinction between bara and asa, whereas asa means I take the pieces I have and I put them together. Bara is more about taking chaos and making it function, creating functionality from that which is tohu vavohu, that which is formless and void. Of course, Walton doesn't like that translation either. Purposeless, useless is the way he takes it. So, and of course, what Walton would point out here is that the sea in ancient worldview was a place of great fear and a place of terror and a place of sea monsters like Leviathan and so forth. You know, when we read this, we think of whales and great white sharks and killer whales and things like that. The ancients would have thought of these terrifying. Of course, not that they would have had a lot of experience with the sea. Most of them wouldn't have. I don't have a lot of experience with the sea, but I can go to a seaquarium, and I've seen documentaries with pictures, right? Um, I venture to say that the overwhelming majority of Israelites never saw a whale in their whole life. I could be wrong, but so God created the great sea monsters, and they are mentioned in the Old Testament, right? I mean, there are the mentioning of Rahab, the great sea monster. Again, not all versions use that phraseology, but again, from the Israelite perspective, the ancient Near Eastern perspective, that's what these kinds of creatures would have probably been understood to be. And so God is taking these chaos monsters, if you would, these chaos monsters of the sea, and God is whipping them into shape. God is creating order and function out of these useless and dangerous kinds of things. He's plucking Leviathan out with a fishhook, as Job says. So God creates all of these living sea creatures, the ones that are moving, that swarm the seas. He's creating them. He's whipping them into shape. One interpretation, according to its kind, according to their kind, and every bird of wing according to its kind. And God saw Kitov, and God saw that it was good. Vayar Elohim Kitov. God saw it's good. And again, Walton would argue that it's good means we're good to go here. It's working now. Things are doing what they're supposed to do. They're not pointless and useless. They're not tohu vavohu anymore. Again, one interpretation. Let's break this translation down a little slower. So, and created, vav patak doubling. We'll talk about that on the next slide. It's converted imperfect, or a preterite, if you would, a past tense. And created, and God created. This is the definite direct object marker. It's not really translatable, but it implies the. The is here, hey, patak doubling. So that's where the is. But this would have implied that it's a the. The sea creatures, that is the gadol, the great ones, This is an adjective. I'm getting a little ahead of myself with the grammar, but an adjective has to agree with the noun it goes with in gender, in number, and in definiteness. So both of these are masculine plural. Eam, this is defective. It doesn't have the yod. Eam, this one does. Eam, eam and eam. So it's plural and it's masculine, both of these, and they're both definite. This has a the on it, hey patak doubling. This has a the on it, hey patak doubling. And it's typical for Hebrew to put the adjective after the noun. So and God created the sea creatures, the great ones, the great sea creatures, and another direct object marker, and all the, all nephesh, all this, every living being, every nephesh, every self, every being, the living one, ha-ha-ya, hakaya. So, whoa, hakaya. This is the kaya, the living creature. This is a participle. Also, see, it agrees in the indefiniteness. That is, that moves, moving. Every soul, every living being moving that swarms the waters. This is a verb here. According to their kind, mean, they're mean, they're kind. And the, again, direct object, every bird of wing to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Okay, so there's the translation. Now we've already done a little grammar. Let's look at it a little bit more in depth now. So vav patak doubling is a converted imperfect, and there's the yod that tells me that it's a third masculine singular imperfect, except it's converted, which means it's a past tense or a preterite. So we might say that it's a G converted imperfect, not imperative. That's better. So G converted imperfect, G, or call, because there's nothing done to the stem, from bara, didn't take the vowels out, just failing miserably here. And God created, I told you that's a definite direct object marker. Hey patak doubling, I told you that that's the. Hirik yod mem, I told you that's masculine plural, although the yod's not there, it's defective. Hirik yod mem, there's, again, masculine plural, absolute. Gadol is the word for great. Again, definite direct object marker. This is the. Hey patak, and the doubling went because chet and hey don't do doubling. Ha ha ya, ha ha ya, ha ha ya, ha ka ya. I'm in trouble tonight. Okay, so this is a participle. I told you. There's the hey. Reshas don't do doubling, so we have compensatory lengthening here from a patak to a kamatz. And so the holum after the resh is a telltale sign of a participle. This is a feminine participle, the segol tav. So it's basically a G participle. It's a call. So nothing's been done to the stem. Feminine singular absolute from ramas, to move. And again, it matches kaya in its definiteness and in its gender, because kamatz hey is feminine and this is feminine, and this is singular and this is singular. So it matches in gender, in number, and definiteness. So every living being moving that they swarm. I think we saw this in the previous verse. This sharuk here is a third common plural. Nothing's done to the stem, so it is a G. It is perfect tense. So the imperfect tense adds letters to the front, like the yod. The perfect tense adds stuff to the end, like the sharuk. So this is a call, or G perfect tense, third common plural, which means masculine or plural doesn't care, from sharats. And every living soul moving that swarms the seas. Again, this is plural. Now here, we can break this apart. La means according to or to. Hem is there, and then mean in the middle is kind. So according to their kind. So all these things according to their kind, and every bird of wing. So I'm taking this as a construct. You can't tell because whole vav is going to be long forever. Nothing's going to mess with the length of a whole vav in this circumstance. So even though it's in construct and therefore we would expect it to have the vowel wind sucked out of it, whole vavs don't get their wind sucked out of it. So I'm going to go ahead, even though it looks just like an absolute, I'm going to call it a construct and say every bird of wing according to its kind. Notice that we have a different, hem was their kind, who is its kind, according to its kind. So we're talking about a singular bird here. Vayar Elohim Kitov, and God saw that it was good. This is again a call or G converted imperfect or preterite, third masculine singular from ra'ah, to see. It's a third hay verb, and the third hay is a weak, and it runs away in this kind of situation. Okay, so let's see if we can pronounce this puppy after we mention all the letters. So we have Vav, Patak, doubled Yod, Hirik, Bait, silent schwa. This syllable is closed. Resh, Kamatz, Aleph. This is a quiescent Aleph. It's not pronounced. It has no, it's not a glottal stop or anything. Aleph, Katef, Sagol, Lamed, Holam, Hey, Hirik, Yod, final Mem. That's a plural, but Elohim is construed as a singular, A, because there's only one God. Aleph, Sagol, Tav, Makef, Hey, Patak, doubled Tav, Patak, doubled Nun, Hirik, Yod, Nun, Hirik, final Mem. Ha-ta-ni-nim. Ha-ta-ni-nim. Hey, Patak, doubled Gimel, vocal schwa, because if a schwa is under a doubled letter, it has to be a vocal. Dalet, Holam, Lamed, Hirik, Yod, final Mem. Vav, vocal schwa, Aleph, Sere, Tav. Kaf, that's just a hardening dagesh. It's not doubled at the beginning of a word. So it's Kaf, Kamatz, Lamed. Actually, I just know this word is kol. It's a long O, and so this is a Kamatz Katuf. It's a short O. I just know the word. And you would not have a long vowel in a closed syllable. So this is a short O, a Kamatz Katuf. Makef, Nun, Sagol, Pei, Sagol, Sheen, Hey, Patak, Chet, Patak, doubled Yod, Kamatz, Hey. Next line. Hey, Kamatz, Resh, Holam, Mem, Sagol, Sin, Sagol, Tav, Aleph, Katef, Patak, Sheen, Sagol, Resh, Sheen, Kamatz, Resh. I'm thinking this is a vocal schwa. So I'm taking this as a long A, not a short O. I mean, why is it a short O here and a long A here? It's just, you have to know the way the words work. So this is a resh, vocal schwa, tzade, shruk, hey, patak, doubled mem, patak, yod, hirik, final mem, lamed, vocal schwa, mem, hirik, yod, nun, sere, hey, sagol, final mem, vav, vocal schwa, aleph, sere, tav, kaf, and that's just a hardening letter. It's not a doubling. Kamatz Katuf again, short O, Lamed, Makef, Ayin, Holam Vav, final Pei. Kaf, Kamatz, Nun, Kamatz, final Pei. Lamed, vocal schwa, Mem, Hirik Yod, Nun, Sere, Hey, Sharuk. Vav, Patak, doubled Yod, Patak, Resh, and I'm going to take that as a silent schwa. and that as a quiescent aleph that it's not pronounced. Aleph, katef sagol, lamed, holam, hey, hirik yod mem, kaf, hirik yod mem, tate, holam vav, bait, sof pasuk. Okay, so now let's see if we can pronounce all this. Vayivra Elohim et hataninim ha gadolim ve'et kol nefesh hahaya haromeset haromeset. Segel, it's always pronounced the second to last syllable. Asher sharatzu hamayim la minnehem ve'et kol of kanaf la minehu bayar Elohim ki tov. Okay, I gave it a shot. Well, this has been Genesis 1:21, our Hebrew verse for the week. See you next week, Lord willing.